Picture this: streets lined with beautiful homes, for sale signs nowhere to be found, and buyers circling the same listings week after week, outbid again and again. It's not that people don't want to move, it's that they can't afford to. Welcome to the era of the lock-in effect, one of the most powerful forces shaping the real estate market today. Across North America, homeowners who once dreamed of upgrading or downsizing are staying put, trapped by the very mortgages that once felt like a blessing, and as they stay frozen, so does the market. This story isn't just about economics, it's about psychology, policy, and how one financial decision can ripple across an entire housing ecosystem. 1. The heart of the problem: a market stuck in place. At its core, the lock-in effect happens when homeowners hold ultra-low mortgage rates, often below current market levels, and are reluctant to sell because doing so means taking on a new mortgage with a much higher rate. In 2020-2021, millions of homeowners locked in mortgages at historic lows, often around 2 to 3%. Fast forward to 2025, and average rates hover around 6 to 7%. That means selling your home and buying another would double your interest cost on the same amount of debt. For many, that's simply not worth it. Imagine owning a $600,000 home with a 2.5% mortgage. Your payment might be around $2,400 a month. Sell it and buy something similar today, and your payment could jump to $3,800 or more. That's a $400 increase each month, before taxes or insurance. So people stay. They remodel instead of move. They renovate their basements. They turn garages into studios, but they don't sell. And that decision creates a domino effect across the market. 2. The ripple effect: how lock-in freezes inventory. When homeowners stop listing their properties, inventory plummets. And when inventory plummets, competition among buyers intensifies, pushing prices higher, even when overall demand is cooling. This paradox has defined much of the housing market since 2022. Demand has slowed because affordability is worse, yet prices remain high because supply is so limited. It's a tug of war between willing buyers and unwilling sellers, and neither side can fully win. Realtors across Canada and the US report similar patterns. Listings are sitting at multi-year lows, and turnover rates, homes sold per 1,000 units, are at their weakest since the early 1980s. In other words, there's plenty of paper equity, but almost no mobility. 3. Who's most affected? Move up and move down buyers. The lock-in effect hits the middle of the market hardest. Move-up buyers, families looking for more space, are stuck because trading up means higher interest rates and bigger payments. Move-down buyers, retirees, or empty nesters hoping to downsize, hesitate too, because they'd lose their low mortgage and face higher costs even for smaller homes. The result? Fewer listings in every price bracket. Entry-level buyers can't find starter homes because existing owners aren't selling. Mid-tier neighborhoods stagnate. Luxury markets slow down too as the usual chain of movement breaks. It's a domino effect that begins with rates but spreads through the entire housing food chain. 4. The economic pressure cooker. Low inventory doesn't just frustrate buyers, it reshapes the economy. Real estate typically drives billions in related spending: renovations, furniture, appliances, movers, inspections, and legal services. When fewer homes change hands, that economic activity contracts. According to recent housing market studies, each home sale contributes roughly $100,000 in spin-off economic benefits. So, a 20% decline in transactions represents billions in lost activity. Meanwhile, new home builders face a tricky dilemma. High rates slow pre-sales, yet low resale inventory keeps prices elevated, creating uncertainty about demand. This leads to selective new development, fewer large subdivisions, more targeted projects in desirable supply-constrained areas. Builders focus on smaller, high-quality homes or infill projects rather than sprawling developments. The result? Supply pressure stays high, a feedback loop reinforcing the lock-in. 5. The psychological trap, homeowner mindset. Beyond numbers, this is also a psychological story. Humans are loss-averse. We hate giving up a good deal, even if moving could benefit us in other ways. A 2.5% mortgage feels like gold, and parting with it feels like losing money. For many, staying put offers emotional comfort and financial stability. Home has become not just shelter, but an investment hedge against inflation and rising rates. Yet this mindset collectively locks up millions of homes that might otherwise circulate through the market. Economists call it rate lock-in, but for homeowners, it feels more like life lock-in. Dreams of new neighborhoods, job relocations, or fresh starts are postponed, not because people don't want to move, but because the math doesn't add up. 6. Policy and potential solutions. Governments and institutions are watching closely. Some proposed ideas include portable mortgages, allowing homeowners to transfer their old low-rate mortgage to a new property, tax incentives for downsizing, encouraging older homeowners to free up family-sized homes, zoning flexibility and ADUs, letting homeowners add secondary units or infill developments to utilize unused space without selling. In Canada, policy discussions around mortgage portability and longer amortization terms are gaining traction. In the U.S., Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are exploring pilot programs for assumable mortgages, allowing buyers to take over sellers' existing loans. If these models scale, they could loosen the freeze, but implementation will take time. 7. What it means for buyers, sellers, and investors. For buyers, the takeaway is patience and strategy. Seek homes from motivated sellers, relocations, estate sales, or investor-owned properties where movement isn't tied to rate psychology. For sellers, highlight what buyers can't get elsewhere: move-in ready condition, energy efficiency, or flexible closing dates. For investors, low turnover means rental demand will remain strong. As ownership affordability declines, more people rent longer. That makes multifamily and build-to-rent developments highly attractive. In short, the market is slow, but opportunity still exists, just in different forms than before. 8. Looking ahead, how long will the lock-in last? Analysts predict that the lock-in effect could persist until interest rates fall significantly, likely over several years. Even then, homeowners may remain hesitant. Psychological inertia lingers even after conditions change. Only when rates drop enough to create a clear financial advantage for moving will listings meaningfully increase. Until then, the market stays tight and affordability challenges persist. Yet this period also fosters innovation. Creative financing, shared equity models, and flexible housing types, like ADUs and co-living, are rising as adaptive responses to supply scarcity. Conclusion: the market that refused to move. The housing market has always been dynamic, shifting with rates, demand, and opportunity. But today's lock-in era is different. It's not a bubble or a crash, it's a freeze. Millions of homeowners are stuck by success, trapped not by debt, but by a good deal that became too good to leave behind. As policymakers, builders, and buyers navigate this frozen landscape, one thing is certain: the key to unlocking the market lies not in waiting for rates to fall, but in reimagining mobility, ownership, and what it means to build a home in a new era of constraint. Question for you: if you had a 2.5% mortgage today, would you sell your home to move or stay locked in? Comment below. Let's see how many would actually make the move.